right after I got back from New Zealand. And actually, that helped me getting brought out there because, if you're working on a tour with Flair and Mark Lewin, of course, they would always call and check on you and, put in a good word for me. And they brought me in. I did TV on a Saturday. 48 hours later, Lawler put me over and gave me the strap in the Coliseum.
Nice.
And I had about five different tours out there. I mean, it was great people to work for. Jerry Jarrett was a great guy. Lawler was great. And made good money, too. Still have friends to this day that I've made in Memphis and New Zealand as well.
Nice. For the fans who might not know, you actually played a big role in the Kaufman angle.
Yeah, actually, there's a picture of me and Andy right there. And we, right when that thing was hot and heavy, actually, the first time when I won the belt, Andy did a interview and said, I'm sending the Mountain Link in to get rid of Memphis, get you out of Memphis before I come back. And then naturally, I won the belt. He went out on a stretcher, and then Andy come back and all that. So it was a good little run there. Got a lot of press out of that. I was on People magazine. I got in Rolling Stone magazine from my association with Andy. And plus, he was a real great guy too.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you.
Yeah, you think he wasn't a snob? He was just like one of the boys. A real humble guy, as a matter of fact. It didn't say a whole lot.
Yeah, and with him, could you tell he was in it because, he actually enjoyed himself in it.
Yeah,
he took it seriously as one of the boys, as opposed to these
Oh yeah, he took it completely serious, and I heard that when he died, he had 20 or 30 checks that Lawler and him had written him from Memphis. He hadn't even cashed, so he just did it because he loved the business.
That's awesome.
Well, actually, when it first happened, I didn't know. A few months later, I would be involved with it too. But when I first saw it, I wondered then, if that was. When you're in the business, you think everything's a work too. But it still had me a little fooled. I thought, this could be a shoot. I mean, they're on David Letterman and all that. So when you can fool the boys, you did something good. Back in those days, the boys now, you can fool them all. I go to do my gimmick now. They say, "Oh, look, Rick Link's tearing the guy's eye out." They don't know how to work.
So getting back to the Lawler Kaufman deal, do you remember tagging with Andy on? It was a handicap match, 2-on-1 with Lawler.
Yeah, we did several of those in the big towns: Memphis, Louisville, and Evansville was the top 3 Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday shows, and then in Nashville. And me and Andy worked Lawler, and back in them days, had to get time, so we'd get 30 minutes, and Andy even apologized, I'd do all the selling, and as soon as I'd cut Lawler off, I'd tag him, he'd get 1 or 2 punches and run the tag back out, Lawler made a comeback, he actually apologized for me having to do all the work. Oh yeah, I don't know how many times I worked Lawler, especially those spot shows, and like Mississippi, Arkansas, even if I put him over, you were so over back then, that even the baby went over, marks would still hit the ring, you had so much heat. What you did in that match, because babies did what they were supposed to do, they would sell. And you'd be so over, I don't know how many times Marks hit the ring on me with Lawler.
Yeah, was there did you, as a heel, did you get kind of satisfaction in the fact that
Oh yeah, when you hear 10,000 people in unison boo, it's a rush, because you've done your job.
Yep. I could see it's one of those smiling while you're running for your life. I got it.
Exactly, yep. I know I worked Coco Ware one night in Mississippi. I had the Mid-America title. This was maybe my second run out there. It was in a black college in a little Holly Springs, Mississippi, at Holly Springs Russ College, I believe. And I was supposed to pin Coco because I was working Lawler that Monday for the Mid-American title, and 2,000 people in that college in the gym, every one of them was black, and had so much heat. They just were standing around the ring, and I changed the finish right in there. I said, I'm not pinning Coco. I said, I'll never get out of here. Put him over with a DQ, waited an hour till the place was empty. Snuck out the back, and there's 100 of them waiting. And I had to basically run over a couple to get out of there, throwing rocks at me and everything. So.
Damn. Did you get any heat for changing the finish?
Oh no.
You didn't eat any shit for that?
No, not when I explained it. Lawler actually laughed about it. He says, "Well, at least you know you're over."
So keeping on that, getting heat and getting like real heat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think that's a lost art? Not so much as in like the business has been exposed and everybody knows, like the heel's not a heel, but as far as the guy supposed to be heels getting that heat.
No, it's still out there because I pride myself on working and convincing people, and you can actually hear them say, "Well, we can tell this match is real." And, in this day and age, the smart mark, so to speak, when you hear them say that, that you're good and you've done your job as well.
Nice, but so we know you're still good at it, but like as a general, like say the guys in like Ring of Honor, as opposed to the guys in WWE, TNA.
Yeah, Ring of Honor, TNA, you still get a mark hit the ring, and because they more work like the '80s and stuff, but I don't believe it really happens too much in WWE. And if they do, it's more or less somebody running the ring, just clowning, just wanting to get on TV, and they usually run out there like submitting, knowing they're not trying to do anything.
Yeah, true. Kevin Sullivan, that actually said like the biggest difference between the heels then and now, it touches on our point earlier, is like the heels then you wouldn't want to catch them. We wouldn't want them to catch you in an alley anywhere.
Back in those days, heels lived their gimmick, and probably to an extent, that was you to an extent. And if it wasn't, when you lived that gimmick long enough, you actually become that.
Yep. And he was all saying most of the heels now, they fall like right for that cheap heat,
Exactly.
Hey, your town sucks. That's the way to get heat. Like, what was like the art back then of getting that heat without, like, just throwing, "Hey, hate me," like, because there was. I know what
I'd pick out somebody on the front row that you could tell is really a diehard fan, and I'd get the baby over there and I'd do the finger and die. Say, "I'm gonna rip his eye out, and it's all your fault." I hate your guts, and he's gonna lose his eye. And they've actually hit the ring on something like that. So he's gonna lose his eye because of you. Shut up and stuff. Just something that simple. Mm-hmm. You control that emotion, and many times they jump up and try to get in that ring.